Welcome back to U.S. Immigration Explorer, the channel where we break down U.S. immigration news, policies, and updates in simple language so you can clearly understand what it means for you and your family. If you or someone you love is an immigrant, a visa holder, a green card applicant, or planning to move to the United States, today's video is extremely important for you because what I'm about to share could change the future of immigration in America in a very big way. Imagine waking up in January 2026 to news that makes your immigration journey easier, faster, and more hopeful. Imagine fewer delays, clearer rules, more opportunities to work legally, reunite with family, and build a stable life in the U.S. For millions of immigrants, that hope may soon become reality. There is growing momentum around major immigration changes expected to roll out starting January 2026. And many of them are being described as the most immigrant-friendly updates in years. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the biggest expected immigration changes, what they could mean for undocumented immigrants, legal visa holders, green card applicants, asylum seekers, students, and workers, and how you can prepare right now. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also share what steps you should start taking today so you don't miss out on these potential benefits. Let's start with the big picture. Over the past few years, the U.S. immigration system has been under enormous pressure. Backlogs reached historic levels, processing times stretched into years, and millions of immigrants were left in uncertainty. At the same time, the U.S. economy has been facing labor shortages in healthcare, technology, construction, agriculture, and education. Because of this, policymakers, business leaders, and advocacy groups have been pushing for serious immigration reforms. As we move closer to 2026, multiple proposals, policy drafts, and administrative plans point toward a shift in how immigration is handled. January 2026 is being discussed as a key implementation period for several major updates, especially if current reform efforts continue gaining support. One of the most talked about changes is related to work authorization. Many immigrants currently wait months or even years to receive or renew their work permits. Under the expected changes, work authorization processing could become significantly faster. There are strong indications that automatic extensions, longer validity periods, and streamlined online renewals will be expanded. This means fewer gaps in employment, more stability for families, and less fear of losing a job due to paperwork delays. For undocumented immigrants, there is also growing discussion about expanded protection programs. While nothing is finalized yet, policymakers are openly discussing broader temporary legal status options for long-term residents who have lived in the U.S. for many years, paid taxes, and have no serious criminal history. These programs could allow eligible individuals to receive work permits and protection from deportation starting in 2026. Another major area of change could be family-based immigration. For years, families have been separated due to visa backlogs, especially in categories for siblings and adult children of U.S. citizens and green card holders. New plans aim to reduce these backlogs by increasing visa numbers, recapturing unused visas from previous years, and prioritizing family reunification. If implemented, many families could finally see movement in cases that have been stuck for over a decade. Spousal visas are also expected to benefit. There is growing support for faster processing and provisional approvals that allow spouses of U.S. citizens and permanent residents to stay and work in the U.S. while their cases are pending. This could eliminate long separations and reduce emotional and financial stress for thousands of families. Now let's talk about employment-based immigration, which is expected to see some of the biggest improvements. The U.S. continues to compete globally for talent, and immigration leaders know that outdated systems are pushing skilled workers away. January 2026 could bring expanded work visa caps, especially for H-1B, healthcare workers, and STEM professionals. There is also serious discussion about removing or easing per-country limits for employment-based green cards. This would be life-changing for immigrants from countries like India and China, who currently face decades-long waits. If these limits are relaxed, many highly skilled workers could finally receive permanent residency much sooner. International students may also see good news. Proposed changes include more flexibility for OPT programs, longer post-graduation work periods, and easier transitions from student visas to work visas and green cards. This would allow talented graduates to stay, work, and contribute to the U.S. economy instead of being forced to leave due to visa restrictions. Asylum seekers and refugees could also benefit from improved processing systems. One of the biggest problems today is the massive asylum backlog. Planned reforms aim to increase staffing, improve case management, and introduce faster initial screenings. The goal is to provide quicker decisions while maintaining fairness and due process. Faster work authorization for asylum applicants is also a key focus, allowing people to support themselves while waiting for their cases to be decided. Another important change being discussed is modernization through technology. By 2026, USCIS is expected to rely much more on digital processing. This includes expanded online filings, electronic interviews where appropriate, and real-time case tracking. These upgrades could reduce errors, improve transparency, and speed up decisions across many immigration categories. There is also growing attention on humanitarian programs. Temporary protected status designations may be expanded or extended for countries facing ongoing crises. Humanitarian parole programs could also be restructured to provide clearer pathways and more predictable outcomes for those fleeing dangerous situations. For DACA recipients, while the future has been uncertain, immigration advocates are pushing hard for more permanent protections. January 2026 is being viewed as a possible turning point for legislative or administrative solutions that could provide long-term stability, work authorization, and even pathways to permanent residency for dreamers. Now, let's be very clear about something important. Immigration changes do not happen overnight, and not every proposal becomes law. But the reason this moment is different is because economic needs, political pressure, and public support are aligning in ways we haven't seen in years. That's why staying informed right now is critical. So, what should you do to prepare? First, make sure your documents are organized. Keep copies of passports, visas, I-94 records, work permits, tax filings, and any immigration notices. Second, avoid misinformation. Only rely on trusted sources and updates from official agencies or credible immigration channels like U.S. Immigration Explorer. Third, if possible, consult a qualified immigration attorney to review your options and make sure you're ready if new programs open. Also, be cautious. Unfortunately, whenever there is good immigration news, scams increase. No one can guarantee you a visa or legal status. Be careful of anyone asking for money in exchange for promises about January 2026 changes. The most important thing you can do is stay hopeful but realistic. Immigration reform is complex, but progress is happening. Every policy improvement, every reduced backlog, every new protection brings millions of people one step closer to stability and opportunity. As we approach January 2026, this channel will continue to monitor every update, proposal, and official announcement. Our goal at U.S. Immigration Explorer is to make sure you understand what's changing, what's real, and how it affects you personally. If this news gives you hope, you're not alone. Millions of immigrants are watching closely, preparing quietly, and believing that better days are ahead. The U.S. has always been shaped by immigrants, and these upcoming changes could be another chapter in that long story. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, please like the video, subscribe to U.S. Immigration Explorer, and share it with friends and family who may need this update. Turn on notifications so you never miss important immigration news. And remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your future. Until next time, stay informed, stay prepared, and keep believing in your American dream.